What is up, everyone? Happy Monday, April 4th, and welcome to another episode of Meet the Experts, where we interview local business owners, or just business owners. Don't really have to be local, but in a lot of the cases, we do this around the Triad, the Greensboro, High Point, Winston-Salem area of North Carolina, but we've interviewed businesses from all over the country, and we're hoping to do a whole lot more of these. So this is actually episode 15. While we've done probably 18 or 19, we weren't exactly calling them Meet the Experts in the very beginning. But my name is Jay Vicks, for those that don't know, and I run a small digital marketing agency based in Greensboro, North Carolina, called JVI Mobile Marketing. And this is just a really fun way to get to meet and get to know and get to network with fellow business owners and grow our network. One of those businesses and business owners that I've gotten to know over the last 12 to 18 months is our guest today. It's Brad. You're going to meet Brad Gile from CMIT Solutions here in just a second. And if you want to be a guest on Meet the Experts, I'll just stay tuned, and at the end of the episode, I will go ahead and fill you in on how you can be a guest. But really excited to get started here today. So I'm going to bring Brad up onto the screen, and we're going to go ahead and get rolling. Brad, how are you?
Hey, good. How you doing, Jay?
I'm doing wonderful. It's good to have you. Thanks for coming on, and looking forward to this episode. And I know that we've spoken a few times in hopes that we can make this kind of a recurring thing, because I think a lot of what you have to offer changes so much, and I think it's of importance to a lot of small business owners. I know we've spoken a few times about just our audiences are that we want to be in front of are very similar, and so I'm hoping that this is the first of many Meet the Experts together.
Yeah, same here. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. So let's get started. Tell me a little bit. How long have you been in business here in the Triad?
Yeah, so we started. It's about I'm on year 3 now. So we started basically in January of 2020.
Okay. And how would you say how did you get into this field? I mean, is it something you've been doing a long time, and then you were like, I should just run my own IT services, or how'd you get into this career?
Yeah, it's a good question. It wasn't planned in the very beginning, but I started off my career at Caterpillar in technology and IT. So I spent a long time at Caterpillar doing a variety of jobs, including operations and engineering. But I started my career off in technology, and one of my later jobs, I was doing some experimentation with self-driving vehicles and different kind of technology and industrial productivity type of solutions. And I really wanted to start my own business and build something of my own. My personality's, really growth minded, and I like to build and grow and do new things. Mm-hmm. And this seemed just like a great way to get out there, be more active in my local community, as well as get exposed to so many different industries and help people with small businesses that are facing different challenges that we can help with technology.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's great. And 3 years, it's tough. To grow a business and to have it be sustainable and get even to the three year mark is awesome. Tell everyone a little bit, like, what are some of your favorite parts of your work? What are your favorite things to do on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, so my day-to-day differs quite a bit as different weeks are going on, different projects are happening. So, I think some of the favorite things for me are really solving problems that people had, that people thought were like insurmountable problems, and they're not. A lot of customers come to us and have some challenges that are really similar. Their internet's not good. Maybe they're blaming Spectrum, or they're blaming AT&T or somebody else. And then, sometimes we can come in and find that it's really not that. It's just some simple things that need to be done, or maybe they need a more robust kind of networking solution, as well as just helping people, look into their business problems and kind of dive in and help them set up the appropriate system or solution that they need to kind of make things run a little bit smoother for them.
Gotcha. Okay. No, that's awesome. Yeah. So it's just being able to help people, figure out where they need to be, right? Getting them there.
Yeah, basically, I really like learning, about the different businesses, and we're supporting, everyone from accountants to lawyers to manufacturers to insurance agents, just all kinds of different people, and they all have some different needs, and then, sometimes they're common needs. So, and several nonprofits that we're supporting as well.
Awesome. No, I like that. So, do you have other people on your team, or is it just you? Tell us about your team.
Yeah, so the team, a couple full-time people that that are here local that support, and then additionally, CMIT is a national franchise. So there's actually 8 offices around North Carolina. So we all support each other with support and technicians. So we, on both hands, we're sometimes supporting them and sometimes they're supporting us. So we, pretty often we're using other technicians from Charlotte and the Raleigh area to come in and help us. And then we have a national help desk. So we have over 50 technicians that are at our national help desk that are taking phone calls from our customers all around the country, including our local customers here. And then we also have a national security operations center. So this is a 24/7 operation that is, monitoring our computers, servers, firewalls, looking for intrusions, and they have the ability to respond to security incidents.
That's pretty cool. It's a lot bigger than I even imagined, but I knew that it was a national brand, but that remote kind of help support system that you have there is a lot. It's a great value add for just a local, to have a local presence, but to be able to have that kind of support at your back is great. So on a day-to-day basis, what are a couple of issues that people come to you and that you help them with? What are some of the common ones?
So password resets, not the sexy stuff, but I'd say the number one is people forget their passwords. That's definitely the biggest. Little issues with Outlook not working, things like that. And then some of the bigger ones are when companies want to upgrade their equipment. They have maybe they have a Windows 7 computer that, it's time to update that because it's no longer supported by Microsoft, and replacing servers and data storage type of equipment. So, kind of everything from a password reset to, a complete refresh of technology. And there's a lot of small businesses out there that have, held on to their technology, especially through, the downturn and through COVID and all this, and not really wanted to put an investment in. And now that we're hopefully coming out of that, we've been pretty busy with getting requests from customers that are, looking to replace old equipment and kind of get things set back up again.
I bet you see some crazy things. I have a friend of mine who's an electrician up in New Jersey, and he will sometimes post like things that he discovers in buildings that are just like occupational fire, electrical hazards that are just terrible. And he'll post a picture like somebody set this up this way, or it's somebody's, hasn't looked at this in 25 years. Or I bet you walk in on some closets and server and router rooms that are just like, what in the world is going on here?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when someone buys a business from someone else and they're like, hey, can you help? Like, yeah, sure. And you go out and they open the door, like, I don't know what that is. And it's this jumble of stuff, can you sort this out for me?
Oof. Yeah. Ugh. Crazy. Well, I want to kind of shift the focus the rest of the way here to something that we talked about before this episode, and something that's really prevalent and really all small business owners should be at least keeping an eye on and maybe taking steps to protect themselves. But cybersecurity has gotten to be a big hot topic, hot button issue, and I know there's so much going on in the world with Russia and what they're doing and just cyber criminals being out there. So can you just take a few minutes and talk about some of the things that business owners might need to be concerned about when it comes to what's going on in Russia and on the cybersecurity front?
Yeah, sure. So, with the economic sanctions that the U.S. and a lot of the European nations have levied against Russia, a lot of those hackers that are in Russia are, pro Russian hacker organizations are going to target American businesses. So CISA, the cybersecurity kind of watchdog for the United States, has already flagged this as a especially infrastructure type businesses, and like we've seen here in Greensboro, like the Colonial Pipeline, for example, is a key U.S. infrastructure. It's a huge target. So other small businesses can get caught up in those types of attacks. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing is small businesses could get caught up in what's called a supply chain attack, where it's quite difficult for the bad guys to hit a large organization. Like Colonial Pipeline is going to be, well secured now. But if you go down a couple tiers and you find their suppliers, they may be more open for an attack. So on the supply chain attack, basically the bad guys try to find the smallest or the weakest link that's attached to a big target. So that's a key concern if you're a small business owner today in the area and you're supporting larger customers that larger organizations that could be an attack like that. It's really good to get your system shored up. So some things that small business owners should be, worried about or thinking about in these times is, so one, the email is still the number one attack vector for the bad guys. So training your employees on how to look out for suspicious emails, maybe putting in a system that's filtering out the bad emails. But email is still the number one attack vector, the number one way to get into your organization. So that's a key place to protect. Next is passwords. So employees sharing passwords, having the same password, having no password policy at all. These are really important things for the business owner to take care of. So if you especially if you are the business owner and you are the admin for your system, keeping your passwords unique, changing often, keeping them complex is extremely important. And then one more is systems. So keeping systems patched. So, we hear all the time in the news of 0-day issues in software and hardware. And so, so typically if you have if Apple releases a patch and says that we found a 0-day issue with a MacBook and download this patch, not everyone downloads the patch, and the bad guys know that. So I've even had a customer who was proud and said, look, Brad, I haven't updated this phone in 2 years. It's like, okay, that's not something that we want to do. Because there's been patches, there's been known security issues on that phone that have been fixed, and you need to download those to protect yourself. So if you're the small business owner, you need to really make sure your systems are patched and up to date, and you have some policies in place to keep your systems patched. So really like those three things would be first things I would focus on is having a good password management kind of program at your business. Training employees, especially around email and what to look out for, and then keeping your systems up to date.
Interesting. So when you mentioned like password programs, I know I use one called Dashlane, but I know there's also LastPass. Are there any ones that you found are those sufficient, or are there any other ones that might be better?
Yeah, so those are actually the two that I recommend. There's a lot out there. You want a password system that's not free. If it's
Right.
free, there's a reason it's free. So you want something like Dashlane or LastPass,
Hmm.
which are really reasonable. They're like $30 a year or so.
Not
And
not much more than that. Yeah.
yeah, and you want to make sure you have multi-factor authentication on those, because once you put everything in there, that's now the golden trove of all your passwords. It's the keys to the kingdom.
Sure.
So you need to make sure you have a really good password on that, and you use multi-factor authentication.
I've often talked to people, and I've talked to them about having some type of password program like a Dashlane, and they're like, "Well, how does it keep my password secure?" And I'm like, "With a password." And they're like, "That's another password I got to remember." I'm like, "It's the only password you have to remember once you have it."
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it saves me a ton of time from having to log in, at all these sites. One of the things that I know is there's also a way that you can share secure notes, and you can securely share passwords with people on your team if you needed to give them access to a software tool or something for a VA. There's a secure way to do that, because I do that with my team for a couple of programs.
Yeah. And when we set those programs up like LastPass for a business, then yeah, you can do sharing of passwords, and if someone becomes sick and unreachable for a week, we can actually go get their password to let you into systems. So as a business, having a business version of that is very helpful.
Awesome. Well, that's a great takeaway, and definitely something that everybody should be focused on. So I did forget. I have a little ticker here that I meant to put up on the screen a couple of questions ago, but this is just a way to get a hold of Brad and CMIT Solutions by phone. But Brad, give us a couple of other ways that people might want to connect with you, maybe website, email, things like that.
Yeah, sure. So our website's cmitsolutions.com. And then if you do /Greensboro, you'll get us, you'll get our local team here. So yeah, you can do that. You can call here, 336-542-1100. And yeah, those should be good.
Perfect. Well, listen, this was great. Perfect timing, very topical, very current and relevant. So I do appreciate you jumping on for this episode. And in another couple months, I'd love to have you back, and we can talk about what's going on in the world in a few months, because we both know that this is a crazy times, and things move really, really quickly and rapidly. So we might be talking about a different country or a different issue or something else at that point. So Brad, thanks for coming on, and I can't wait to see you again in real life. So
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it.
all right, take care. Thanks. Well, awesome. That was Brad Gile with CMIT Solutions. If your company needs any IT related services, or even if you just have questions and don't really know where to start, or maybe you don't know if you need somebody like Brad and you want to find out, go ahead and contact him, and I assure you he's going to do great work for you. So I told you at the beginning, if you wanted to be a future guest of Meet the Experts, I've got a ticker going across the screen there. Just go to guests.advertisinggreensboro.com. That's guests with an S. .advertisinggreensboro.com. And if you're a baseball fan out there, you know that opening day is this week. So I'm very excited about Thursday. I've got a block on my schedule, so excited about that. Until our next episode, I can't wait to see you again. So take care, everybody. Have a great day.